On June 9th, 2013, Jimmy Johnson gets his final win at Pocono Raceway. Then, 2,939 days later, Bowman wins in a dramatic fashion at Pocono for the 48 team. Let's go! Hey guys, NASCAR Mover back again, and welcome back to another episode of NRR. In today's video, we're going to be reviewing the 2021 Pocono Organic CBD 325 at Pocono Raceway, and oh my gosh, guys, I have to be totally honest, I can describe this race in many ways. This was the best finish of the year, and probably the best finish in a good while, because the best finish I can remember would have to be maybe the 2020 Talladega Fall race, or maybe the 2020 Bristol race. Those had some good finishes, but this had to be the finish of the year so far as of now, because we're only halfway into the season right now. This is race 18. After this, we're into the second half of the year. But yeah, this race was just actually, minus the finish, this race was actually pretty good. We had some battles in this race, like between like Kyle Busch and William Byron and Kyle Larson in this race, and they weren't even racing for the lead at one point. They were like in the middle of the pack, trying to get up into the front of the pack and stuff. But this was a great race, exhilarating finish. Kyle Larson blows a tire at the final corner. That reminded me so much of Dale Earnhardt back in 1990 in Daytona. Oh man. But hey, for Kyle Larson, you have to be glad that there's a Pocono race tomorrow, because if there was no race tomorrow, you'd be very upset. Well, actually, there's a possibility. Well, they wouldn't cancel the race. You'd race, but there's a chance of rain tomorrow, so hopefully that doesn't get in the way. But yeah, we'll get further into this explanation. We're going to look at our top 10 top 10 finishers. Then we're going to rate the race. We're going to talk about the race as a whole, look at the drivers who had a good race, bad race, and then finally wrap it up when I ended off this video with my outro, including the playoff standings after today's race, because there's some big change-ups after this race. But yeah, let's go ahead and look at our top 10 finishers of this race. Finishing in first was Alex Bowman. My boy, Alex Bowman. Oh man, it feels good to see the 48 car win again. Bowman gets his third win of the season, his fifth career win here at Pocono Raceway. Man, he's won at Pocono, a unique track. He's won at Dover, technically a 1 mile track. He's won at a short track, Richmond, won at a 1.5 miles. Chicagoland, and has won on a 2 mile track, Auto Club. And man, he's just doing it all right now. I'm really proud of Alex Bowman, the 48 team. He had to be there. He had to be there for a second, because I thought Bowman was going to win this race. And then with what, 4 laps to go, Larson takes the lead, and I was saying, okay, Bowman, just hang on a second. And then when Larson blew a tire, I saw some smoke coming out. I was thinking, oh my gosh, and I was just freaking out and stuff. I couldn't hear the broadcast. I didn't know what they were saying. I was just freaking out. My brother, his mouth was gaping open. I was just so surprised, and it was just a huge win. Really proud of Alex Bowman, but I do kind of feel bad for Kyle Larson, the 5 team. They did not deserve that, but hey, at least they got a top 10 in the end. At least they did not finish outside the top 10. So yeah, but great job for Alex Bowman, the 48 team, because Bowman is really good at Pocono, because his best finish at Pocono was third back in 2018 when he finished third to Kyle Busch, who won that race in 2018, and Daniel Suarez finished second. So Bowman, he's actually really good, and Daniel Suarez did good too. We'll talk about him later, but great job for Alex Bowman, the 48 team. We'll see what they can do tomorrow. I don't see them winning tomorrow, because they didn't have a better car than Kyle Larson. I'm just going to say they did not have a better car than Kyle Larson, because I'm just going to say Bowman, at the Dover race, Bowman, towards the end of the race, or towards like the middle going to the end of the race, he had a car that could beat Kyle Larson. He definitely had a car that could beat him. But in today's race, it was the complete opposite. Larson had the better car. Bowman was just hanging on for dear life. He just couldn't hang on long enough. Almost had him. Larson blew a tire. Bowman got the win. And like it says in the title, guys, like it says in the title, you'd rather be lucky than good. So good job for Alex Bowman. We'll see what they can do tomorrow at Pocono. Finishing second was Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch is once again just showing how much of a competitor he is, because he is the second well, he's the driver who's just right there with Hendrick Motorsports, just not as good as the drivers. Like, he could not beat Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson could just easily pass him, but Kyle Busch was like his biggest challenge. Same thing last week at Nashville. Just I don't know. Later in the race, Kyle Busch, he just fell apart. We don't know what happened to him. But Kyle Busch, he did win stage 1. Him, Larson, and Byron were battling in the middle of the pack in stage 2. It was really fun to see. That's what made this Pocono race probably the best Pocono race I've ever seen. Because I've watched every single Pocono race from 2016 when Kurt Busch won to now. And that was probably the best because there were so many good battles between those guys. And they weren't even racing for the lead. They were in the middle of the pack. So you know this was a really great race. And we also had the Kyle and Kyle show with like 30 laps to go in the race. So it was a really fun race to see Kyle Busch and Larson going at it, even with Kyle Busch and William Byron. Great race. Kyle Busch finished second. We'll see what he can do tomorrow because he could actually win tomorrow and have a bit of an advantage since Larson will most likely be starting at the back of the field. Finishing third was William Byron. William Byron also had a pretty decent day. He was running up there. He passed Kyle Larson early in this race in stage 1. That was a good move by William Byron. Him, Kyle Busch, and Larson, those were like the 3 guys to win this race. And then on the final restart, it was Larson second, Kyle Busch third, and Byron was in fourth, and Bowman was in the lead. But here's the thing. When I play, NBC Sports Predictor for NASCAR, and my prediction for this race was Larson was going to win, Kyle Busch would finish second, William Byron would finish third. I was so close of getting all 3 of them right. That would have been amazing. But hey, it's just as amazing that Bowman got the win, so I'm okay with that. But still, decent day for William Byron in the 2014. Get a top 5 finish, finishing in third. Good job for them, and we'll see what they can do tomorrow, because Byron, he could get the win tomorrow. You never know. You never know. Finishing in fourth was Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin's had a solid day. Nothing really to say. He's had like a top 5, top 10 car all day. They've been running pretty decent today. But nothing else to really say. I mean, they were up there with Larson and Kyle Busch, but they weren't as good as him. And speaking of Kyle Busch spoke. I think he actually spoke to Denny Hamlin's spotter. Correct me if I am wrong, but yeah, he spoke to Hamlin's spotter and told Hamlin to give him like the double bird because Kyle Busch wasn't happy with him. I mean, I know that's your teammate, but still, you need to chill out a bit. But yeah, Denny Hamlin gets a 4th today. That's his best finish since Darlington, actually. He got 5th at Darlington. It's been a while since Denny Hamlin's got a top 5, so good to see him back in the top 5, but is he gonna do as well? We'll see. This could be a turnaround for Denny Hamlin as we're halfway through the season now, but decent day for Hamlin, and we'll see what they can do tomorrow. Finishing in 5th was Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney had a pretty decent day. Definitely had a top 5, top 10 car all day. They were running pretty strong. And I think Bowman owes Blaney a steak dinner. Well, that's according to Eric Eastup for that great push that he gave to Bowman on the final restart. So we'll see if he does that. But still, decent day for Blaney. There is something else with Blaney. Him and Byron apparently having like a little bit of a tiny feud. Started in Nashville. They were racing hard against each other. So I don't know what that's about. Hopefully that dies down. I think it's just a small, tiny little battle feud or that they're going through. I mean, because Byron is technically dating Blaney's sister. So hopefully that doesn't trigger anything. But decent day for Blaney and the 12 team. Finishing 6th was Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch, excellent day by Kurt Busch overall. They technically got the stage win last week after Chase Elliott's disqualification, and they win stage 2 today, and they get a good 6th place finish. Now they're in the playoffs. They're now 16th in the standings, only 4 points above Chris Buescher right now, because Chris Buescher did not have that much of a good day either. So they're like just like last year, we're just having a bunch of like switches right now. We're only halfway through the season. We only have like a few more races to go till Daytona and the playoffs. So decent day for Kurt Busch, doing what's right for him to get into the playoffs. So good job for Kurt Busch and the one team, and we'll see what they can do tomorrow. Finishing 7th was Joey Logano. Nothing really to say about Joey Logano. He was running up there in the top 5 early in this race. After that, he just felt like a top 10 car. So nothing really to say about Joey Logano. They just had a solid day. They weren't really in contention to win. But I would say they were, actually no, I don't know if they were the best 4. They were probably like the top 3 Fords out there. So decent day for Logano, I guess, and we'll see what he can do tomorrow. Finishing in 8th was Kevin Harvick. Decent day for Kevin Harvick in the 4 team. They were, just like Joe Logano, they were running pretty good in the top 5 early in this race, and then later fell back as like a top 10 car. They definitely had a pretty decent car because they won the first Pocono race last year in the for the 14. I think that was their third win of the year last year. So decent day for them, getting an 8th place finish. This is their second top 10 in a row. They got a 5th at Nashville last week. So back-to-back top 10 finishes. We'll see what they can do next, or actually tomorrow at Pocono. But yeah, nothing really to say about Kevin Harvick, but they just had a pretty solid day. Now, this is where the big stuff comes. Kyle Larson gets a 9th place finish. He's very lucky to get a 9th place finish after blowing the tire, because I think the tire probably went out. I think he ran over something, because he said in his interview that he was just in disbelief, and they didn't have any tire issues all day, so they probably just did run over something. But decent day for them and stuff. Like, early in this race, they weren't really the fastest car out there. Like I said, Kyle Busch, and William Byron were battling. Good battles between those guys, and him and Kyle Busch were just having the Kyle and Kyle show. 30 laps to go, and to cause that good battle between Larson and Busch, Larson had a pretty fast pit stop. Him and his pit crew were just on it today, and then he just blew a tire and stuff. The Larson jinx right there, 4 in a row, is close. He's gonna have to try all over again. So technically, Jimmy Johnson is still the last driver to win 4 races in a row. Because if Larson would have won today, he would have been going on for 5 in a row tomorrow, and that's never been done in NASCAR before. But that's just how it is and stuff. So that really sucks for Kyle Larson and the 5 team. Like I said, I did really feel bad for them, because that's a Hendrick teammate, and Larson's a top 5 favorite drivers for me. Who currently race. So decent day for Larson, the 5 team. We'll just see what they can do tomorrow, since they have to start from the back of the pack. And rounding up the top 10 and 10th was Brad Keselowski. This is actually a huge day for Brad Keselowski, because this is their first top 10 finish since Kansas, when they finished like 3rd. Because after Kansas was their last race that they had a good race. Because after Kansas, when we went to Darlington, he had a 24th place finish, a 16th at Dover, and I remember 19th at Coda. He got 11th at Charlotte, a 15th at Sonoma. He got 2nd at the NASCAR All-Star race, but that doesn't count. And 23rd at the Ally 400 last weekend in Nashville, but finally gets a top 10 finish. Finally, some things are going right for Brad Keselowski, because after that Kansas race, they just had a streak of bad luck. Because that was the first race of May. After that, the rest of May and coming into June was terrible for Brad Keselowski. So it's good to finally see something go right for them in their way. So we'll see what they can do tomorrow in the second race of Pocono. So now let's rate this race. Like I said in the beginning, guys, this race was the best Pocono race I've ever seen. I mean, not because of the finish in the battle between Bowman and Larson in the closing laps, but we also had battles with Larson and Kyle Busch. Larson, Busch, and Byron were going against each other. There was actually some pretty solid racing out here. This was, like I said, best Pocono race, best finish of the year, best finish of 2021. So best season ever is living up to his name, because we just got the best finish of 2021, and we're only halfway through the year. We could still see some pretty great finishes coming our way later this year. But if I had to rate this race, I'll give it a solid 8.5 out of 10. Pocono is Pocono, but when it comes to these kind of races, Pocono will get some good ratings. So 8.5 out of 10 is what I'm going to give for Pocono. Let me know what you guys will give it in the comment section below. Now let's talk about this race as a whole. But before I say about that, I want to talk about congrats to Jeff Gordon now being the CEO, the chairman of Hendrick Motorsports, the right-hand man for Rick Hendrick, the second in command, basically. But now to talk about the race, yeah, Elliott had some damage from Ryan Preece when taking the green, because there was a checkup from Ryan Blaney. And we already saw Larson was not the fastest when it started. Keselowski and Custer had that wreck. Keselowski just misjudged right there when trying to cross over on Cole Custer. Definitely sucks for Cole Custer right there. Just bad luck for him after Cole Custer had that incident at Nashville. Then Kyle Busch won the first stage of the race. Then we saw the Larson, Kyle Busch, Byron battling right there. It was a good run for Bubba Wallace, but they didn't get a top 10. Newman spun out, hit the wall. Really sucked for him. LaJoy and Alfredo had the wreck in turn 3. It looked like LaJoy pushed Alfredo up into the wall, but I think LaJoy didn't know he was 3 wide, so we're not really sure for what happened there. Then later, Chastain hit the wall in turn 2. Really sucks for Ross Chastain. They were having a good run going. Kurt Busch won stage 2. And we also saw that Larson having a great pit stop that led up to that Kyle and Kyle show with like 30 laps to go in the race. And then Bowman and Larson were having an excellent battle after that final restart. And then just Bowman stole another one from Kyle Larson. Bowman is 2-0 when battling against Kyle Larson technically. And you saw Larson blew a tire in turn 3. Bowman took the lead and won. Larson could not get 4 in a row, and just Bowman got his 3rd win of the year, the best and craziest finish of 2021. I just have to say it. 6 in a row, technically, for Hendrick Motorsports, so that was really good. Larson said he was just in disbelief, and that was just the best Pocono race I've ever seen in general. So that's what I have to say about this race as a whole. Now, let's talk about drivers who had a good and bad race. So for drivers who had a good or neutral day, Chase Elliott had a bit of a neutral day. Start off the race, starting 29th, they had contact with Ryan Blaney and, contact from Ryan Preece when Blaney checked up and Preece went into the back of Chase Elliott. But Chase Elliott recovered to get a 12th place finish, so I'd say that's a pretty good neutral day. Stenhouse had a penalty, I believe, for a restart violation, but comes back to get a 15th place finish. Great job for Bubba Wallace getting another top 15 finish, finishing 14th in this race. I thought they had a solid race. We'll see what they could do in that great-looking DraftKings car tomorrow. And then finally, Daniel Suarez had a good day because they jumped up all the way up to 18th in the playoff standings, so that is really good for Daniel Suarez. We'll see if they can continue it going into Pocono tomorrow. Or I think they're 18th or 19th in the standings, but we'll just look after we talk about the drivers who had a bad race. First up, Kyle Larson. You guys know why that incident on the final lap right there. Martrix Jr. finished 18th. They just had a streak of bad luck after their win at Darlington, so their bad luck is just adding insult to injury. Cole Custer, like I said, had that incident with Brad Keselowski, so it really sucks for them. Austin Dillon, they finished 21st, just not a good day for them. I have no idea what happened, but Reddick had a good day. Newman backed into the wall, had some damage on the car, did not get a good finish. I don't see him getting a ride in 2022, but we'll see. He might have to end his career. Next up, Chris Buescher just didn't have a good day. They finished 20th, but not a strong day because now they are currently 4 points out of the playoffs. Matt Benedetto, I think they had a penalty on pit road for gas can or equipment leaving the pit box and stuff, and that resulted in a bad finish. Chastain hit the wall, and that ended up in the 34th place finish, I believe, so not a good day for them, as now they fall outside the top 20 in the playoff standings. And finally, Corey LaJoie made contact with Anthony Alfredo. Really sucked for him. Oh, I forgot to add Anthony Alfredo, but yeah, both him and Corey LaJoie had some bad days. Had a bad day from that wreck early in the race. So those are the drivers who I thought had a bad race. Now, according to NBC, after the race today, Larson's still in first with 4 wins. You got Truex and Bowman with 3. Then from Logano, Kyle Busch, Blaney, Byron, Elliott, Keselowski, Bell, and Michael McDowell. They all have 1 win. Right now, Denny Hamlin's comfortable, 320 points above the cut line. Then you have Kevin Harvick, 143 above. Austin Dillon, 85 above. And you have Reddick with 35 above. And Kurt Busch, 4 points over this mini cut line right there. With Buescher, -4. And then you have Stenhouse, -42. Suarez, -55. Made a big gain up to 19th in the standings. And DiBenedetto in 20th. So you can see the gains and the fall-offs from last week at Nashville to today at Pocono. So you can see 15th and 16th are still up for grabs right now. But for for these last 4 drivers, they cannot get to Austin Dillon yet. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys for tomorrow's video for the review of the Pocono 350, which is going to be under 40 laps. So see you guys tomorrow. Have a great rest of your night, and have a great rest of your day, I guess. And see you guys next time. Peace out.